Cadillac didn't invent the luxury SUV, but it certainly helped establish the segment with the introduction of the Escalade in the late 1990s. Fast forward 20 years, and Cadillac's hoping to repeat history with this, the all-new XT4. Like the original Escalade, the XT4 is an all-new type of product for Cadillac. It's a small luxury SUV that slots beneath the company's midsize XT5. But this isn't an all-new kind of vehicle for the market. Premium automakers like Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and even Infiniti have been making small luxury SUVs for years. But Cadillac is hoping to erase that first mover advantage by making the XT4 the Cadillac of small SUVs. And today, we're going to see how it stacks up. Over the years, Cadillac's been known for its bold exterior designs, and the XT4 mostly lives up to that. It's got a front end reminiscent of the larger XT5 with the distinctive headlights with LED accents and a large grille that's tastefully devoid of any chrome accents. Now, this isn't as shouty as an Escalade, but it certainly does stand out from the crowd. In profile, I like that the XT4 looks more like an SUV than a crossover. In my eyes, the Audi Q3 looks like a high-riding VW Beetle with 2 extra doors, and the Mercedes GLA is just a hatchback masquerading as an SUV. The XT4 obviously isn't as imposing as an Escalade, but it feels like I'm standing next to an SUV, not a 5-door on stilts. At the rear of the XT4, Cadillac went with these vertical taillights in a nod to the company's iconic tail fins of the 1950s. Unfortunately for Cadillac, a lot of automakers are using this kind of taillight design now, so you might mistake the XT4 for a Honda CR-V or a Volvo XC40. The interior of the XT4 is nice, but it's not really anything new. We've all seen this kind of overall design in a couple other Cadillacs, including the larger XT5. I wish Cadillac would have taken a few more chances with this. I mean, after all, you can get an XC40 with lava-colored carpet. Likewise, the infotainment screen in this is just kind of average size. It's nothing special. And you do get an LCD gauge cluster, but it includes a couple of analog gauges. It would have been really cool if on top spec models you got a full LCD gauge display. Overall, the materials are pretty good in this. You get some fake leather on the dash and on the doors and on the center console lid here, but it all just feels a little synthetic. I wish they would have used a little bit more of a quality material. Now, I understand why they did this. On the cheaper models, they're going to sell for around $40,000, and you got to cut costs somewhere. But this model costs over $53,000, and it just kind of feels like a nice Chevy in here, not a premium Cadillac. This is running Cadillac's latest Q infotainment system, which adds a little knob here. It's pretty easy to use, and the knob actually feels pretty high quality. It's real metal, and it feels nice to turn. But there's no touchscreen in the middle of it, and I think that's a little miss. But if you don't like using this, you can always use the touchscreen. The HVAC controls, though, are nice in the XT4. They're not only easy to use, but they look good. They're these kind of toggle switches that are finished in this metallic-like material, and they feel nice, and they are really easy to use. Space is good. I've got plenty of room in the front seats, and I have enough room to sit behind myself in the back seats. The load floor in the XT4 is a little high, but it offers decent cargo room behind the rear seats. But enough about that. Let's see how it drives. So here we are behind the wheel of the all-new 2019 XT4. And the first impression is it does have a good seating position. I feel like I'm sitting up high, but these door sills come up really high, so you feel kind of like you're sitting down lower than you might actually be. So it does feel more like an SUV than maybe a standard crossover, but this isn't a full-on SUV. You don't get this high commanding seating position. The other thing is it's pretty quiet and comfortable. I'm in the premium Luxe model here, which just the standard coil springs, but it still rides nice. The steering is nice and weighty. It's got a good on-center feel. Overall, it's just nice to drive. There's also a version with adaptive dampers, and that does a good job of soaking up the bumps too, and you get a little adjustment. You can put it in sport mode if you're feeling a little frisky on the back roads. Now, this has a new 2-liter turbocharged engine, and even though it's the same as displacement as some of Cadillac's older engines, it's actually all new, and it's a pretty good one. It's smooth, it's got a lot of power down low, and it's also got enough power for passing on 2-lane roads or on the freeway. And it's quiet, you can't really hear it going in the background, and it gets decent fuel economy. It's not the best in the segment, but it's got a pretty good blend of power and economy. Now, the brakes in this are a new type of electric hydraulic system, and basically there's no more pump under hood. It's just all electronic, and it feels a little artificial. You don't really get a good sense of how hard you have to hit the pedal, and it feels like it's pushing back more than a typical pedal. It's not a huge deal, but it is something you're probably going to notice if you're coming from just a regular car. Visibility out of the front of the XT4 is actually pretty good. It's got an expansive windshield, it's got these thin A-pillars, and the mirrors are mounted on the door instead of right here by the A-pillar, so you get an extra little piece of glass there just to give you a little bit extra visibility. Now, looking out the back is a little more difficult. It's got these really thick C-pillars and it's hard to see over your shoulder. But this does come with blind spot monitoring, and you can get it with Cadillac's virtual rear view mirror. That's just the camera feed to the rear view mirror, so it does help with visibility. Another perk of the XT4 is it comes with a lot of cool features that you don't always find in this segment. You can get it with heated and cooled seats, that's pretty normal, heated steering wheel, but you can also get massaging front seats. That's something usually reserved for high-end luxury cars. This also has a lot of the kind of safety tech that you'd expect in a brand new vehicle. It's got adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, although it is lacking Cadillac's Super Cruise system, but we imagine that'll be coming sometime down the line as that becomes cheaper. So there it is, the all-new 2019 Cadillac XT4, the Cadillac of small SUVs. Overall, I think Cadillac did a really good job for taking its first crack at this kind of vehicle. I think the XT4 looks sharp, and I like the new 2-liter powertrain in this. It offers good punch for around town driving. It still returns decent fuel economy. And this also offers a lot of neat features that you don't often find in this segment, like massaging front seats and a second row seat that you can actually use. But you are gonna pay for those features. This is a lot more expensive than the competition, and when you load it up, you can get over $56,000. But if you're in the market for a premium SUV that's got a unique look and lots of space in the second row, this really should be on your radar.